guys, Ramblin Bob here again. Say, I wanted to do one more update on the new charger from Pecron. You remember that last video, guys, that I found this new charger? Or they sent it to me, but I actually found it on their website. I'm pretty sure that's it. I looked at the pictures, zoomed in and everything, and that's the same one. It's about 150 bucks, so it's more than the traditional one, but I think it's better in the long run, and I'll show you why. I noticed that the power factor of that one was a lot better. It was a lot more efficient of a power charging brick than the original. You remember the lunchbox? So we have the lunchbox here, okay? This is the big old one here. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I'm trying to get everything in one shot here, but it's pretty wide view. I'm already on the bubble camera. That's why everything's kind of like bubbly. So you have the lunchbox, the original 600 watt charger right here, and then you have the updated new one that they sent me out of the blue, and I'd like to order more of those, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and bite the bullet, and down the road I think I'm gonna get 3 more of those, so I can have 3 more of those, or at least 1 more of these and 2 more of the smaller ones that are 400 watts, so I can do 2 in the system and 2 400 watt ones in the batteries in case, you know, in case you have an emergency or anything. It's nice to have all that extra stuff. So what we have for the test system to show you this now is the e2000lfp, and that's at 73% battery, which is approximately, I would have to say probably about 5.5 to 6 kilowatts of power. That's a lot of power. That's plenty for me for the whole night, easy. That'll probably last about 2 days for me in my workshop. But I unhooked the solar and I put the old one, I'm going to call it the lunchbox, and that's in port number 2, and then I have the new one in port number 1. Now it doesn't matter which one they go into. I want to show you the actual power conversion, so you can actually see that it's really better by I think a substantial amount of power, especially if you're running 2, 3, or 4 of those. Okay, so what we're going to do is the original one is down here on this Oukitel P2001 2000 watt power supply. So we're going to turn the inverter on and we're going to watch the output power. That's the important thing. Hopefully you can see what all these cables. I got cables hanging everywhere, guys. I'm testing. Remember, to boldly go where no man has gone before, make sure you bring a fire extinguisher. So I got one on the other side of the room, so we're good to go. Okay, so this power station is now powering. As you can see, that turned on. The new one has a light, but it's like in a different place. It's there. So hopefully you can see that one. And I can't really put it anywhere. You should be able to see it. Okay, so the old one is charging now, and we're getting about 544 watts in on the Pecron. I'm basically dumping. This is called battery dumping, and that's where you take one battery pack and dump the energy into another battery pack. Now, this is not the most efficient way by any means as far as getting one energy to another. It would be much better because this is a 48 volt system and this is a 24. If this was a 24 and that's a 24, or 48 and 48, it would be much more efficient, even though I still wouldn't do this unless I was in an emergency situation or I just wanted to need a little extra runtime on my main system. So what we're going to look at is 544 watts input, okay, and we're using 652 watts of output. So you can see that's a pretty good amount of difference there. That looks like about, let's see, 45, 46%, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. I had to add real quick. That's 100 and, is that 108? So about 108 watts difference. Okay, we'll use that as test subject number 1. 108 watts of loss from this system to this system, plus obviously the conversion loss as well. But now what we'll do is we'll pause this. Okay, that was the lunchbox, the original one, and now we're going to turn on the new one. We'll let that reset and go all the way down to 0, so we have a fresh start. Always want a fresh clean slate for tests. And now we're going to turn on the inverter. Now these are the exact same boxes, 100% same Oukitel P2001s. That way you know that the power is the same and the output's the same and everything, the inverter, everything, batteries, capacity, everything. So you're going to turn on this inverter, and now this one will turn on up here. There it goes. See, it's green. Hopefully you can see that. I'll hold it here if you can't see it. Okay, so now you know. Okay, it's orange there, or red. I know you can see that now. So I'll put that back up here for safekeeping. Let me raise this a little bit. And there, now you should be able to see it. Okay, so that's the new one now. And now notice that you're getting the same 544 watts input on your Pecron, right? But look at, you're only burning out 104. I'm sorry, 640 watts as the output. So it didn't seem like much, but you know, it's almost 20 watts, guys. So if you were doing 2, 3, or 4 of these, that's up to 80 watts an hour. It doesn't seem like much until your electricity bill comes at the end of the month, right? So you're dumping the same exact power, except you're using less to convert it. That's where this power factor is more efficient. It might have better cooling. As you notice, this side is very, very open, so it might be getting that heat out. You know, these cause a lot of heat when they charge. Whenever you convert energy to energy, you create heat. So maybe that's what's doing it. So now what I'll do is, we know that 544 and the other one was 544. I'll put them on at the same time, and that will put the system up to, I think, 10,050 or so. We'll have to wait and see. The lunchbox will turn on. Okay, that just activated. And then we can see the numbers in real time. And this is what I mean about, you know, saving every bit of energy that you can, guys. A lot of people just focus on how much energy can I get from the sun. Well, what I do is I focus on how much can I save so I don't have to depend so much on the sun, because the sun's not always there, guys. So here, you can see 661 output watts on this power station, which gives you 81 minutes left at 64%. Now this one is only 644 watts output, both at 60 hertz, by the way, and notice you have 99 minutes plus left at 68%. So I started these at the same time to do this test before I made the video, and this was 100% and this was 100. Freshly charged, that way they're as equal as can be. No two battery cells are 100% identical, but these are as close as you could possibly get. Same unit, same battery, same everything. So being that this one has now 5% more power left than this one, that shows that by the time this gets down, you may have a possibility of 10 to 20% more energy coming from this box than this one. Now that's a real lot of power if you're in a tough spot, right? Emergency. And here you're up to 1099, 1098. This maxes out at 1100 for AC with these boxes. So it doesn't go past that, and if it does, it just goes for just a very short time. But this is where your money is, guys. That's a substantial difference in power output, I would say so. So here we're 4% difference on the power, and I bet you that one's going to drop down to 62 in a second, because this gap seems to be widening more and more as the test concludes. Because what I was doing was, my solar is done for the day almost. I was down to, like, you know, a couple watts, like maybe 10. So I unplugged the solar and I thought, well, I want to try this. And sure enough, by trying different things, I found out more information about these power bricks. And the only way you can find them, guys, is to go to Pecron's website and type in that E2000lfp in the search bar, and then you'll see that weird picture that looks like they took it in their house or something. But that's what they sent me, that one. So I don't know if that's a prototype, or they want to get rid of these first, or that's a new one that's not out yet 100%, or I don't know what the deal is. But here, see this drop down now. See 62% and 67. So that's 5% more power, guys. So by the end of that run, that's 10 to 20% possible battery capacity that you have left. And 20% of 2,000, that's 400 watts, right? That's a lot of power, right? But yeah, so I'm going to continue dumping these in there, and I'll see what the test does at the end of it. I'll just put this video up so you guys can see. If you don't have a second charger and you're looking at getting a second charger, I would highly recommend this one, guys. No jokes. Only because of, well, number one, it's smaller. It's smaller. It's much more efficient. It's a wider voltage. You could run this one from 100, and I think it's, let me see here. This is 100 to 240 volt input from 50 to 60 hertz, 6.2 amps. And then, let's see, it says the output is 42 volts at 15 amps. And this is 100% the same, guys, except it only allows, let me read it here. It says 100 to 120 volts AC. So maybe this is possibly a European model with an American plug on it. I don't know, because I don't have that much information about it. But I'm always trying to figure out ways for you guys to save more money and get better quality out of your products. But as you see, 644 and 663, That's a big, look at it, drop down again, 61% and 66, so that's still 5% difference. 5% of 2,000 would be 100 watts. That's not bad, right? It's 100 free watts, guys. Why waste it, right? It takes you at a 100-watt solar panel, it would take you an hour to get that from the sun. So why throw it away if you have it? All right, I'll leave it at that, guys. Ramble on, be safe, have fun with your equipment. I know I do. This is really a new hobby for me, and it's really enjoyable. And I hope that all the experiments and tests that I've done on the channel is helping you out. If you want to support the channel, you can use the links in these videos. They go to Amazon if you want to buy something anyway that helps support this channel, and I can grow bigger, and we can all grow bigger, and I can get more of this stuff, guys, because the bigger this channel gets, the more I get noticed by these big companies. I have 2 companies now that are willing to send me stuff to test it. So, wow, we're really getting somewhere, guys. Thank you so much, and then maybe in the future, hopefully soon, maybe we could have giveaways or something. I'm looking forward to expanding this as big as we can get, guys. I really think this is a fun hobby and a future for all of us as far as a community. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe, and I'll talk to you again. Okay, bye.